I'm surprised to see white families giving their children over to the radical blacks. The whole Black Lives Matter mess. And we all know that Black Lives Matter is a far-left, liberal, godless, radical organization. They hate God. They hate the nuclear family. They hate America. They hate anything that's good. Founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians. And they are teaching this in the schools. And the white parents of the white children are still sending their children to the schools. They're sending their children to the schools anyway. And the only way that the white parents are doing that is that they have no love for their children. And the women don't want to stay home and watch over the man's children, so the hell with what's happening to them at school. Just get them out of the house. I don't want to be dealing with them. I want to go to work and pretend I'm equal to a man. They don't care about their own children. It's just a whole lot of, it's just mind-blowing. They're selling their children over to the radical blacks. And when their kids get older, as they're getting older, they're going to turn against the parents, against the country. Just imagine what this young generation of whites going to be like. Because they've been brainwashed in the government schools, public schools. And there's no turning around for these schools. It's not going to happen. Don't think that, oh, well, one day it'll end. It will not end. It's not going to end because look at the blacks that they're putting in charge of the schools. The teachers' unions have taken over completely. And they have blacks running a teacher union. And these blacks don't like white people. They don't like America at all. And to them, they are, and to them, it's an opportunity to get back at America, at white people. And I'm just kind of blown away to see this happening in the open. So the schools are not coming back. And if the white parents love their children, which they don't, they would take their kids out and the father would make the wife, the mother of the children, stay home and watch over his children, homeschool. Because even some of the private schools are no different than the public schools now. Because of the fear of white people running the private schools. It's mind-blowing to me. It's just, what this old world coming to. Things just ain't the same. You think it's bad with these blacks running around robbing and stealing and killing and mugging, pushing people off onto the train track while they're waiting for the train, and you think that's bad, and it is. It's not going to get better once they brainwash the white children to go along with this too, because they're going to believe it's okay because of slavery and racism. They're going to grow up with that mentality. Amazing. This is from the Daily Wire. A private school in Washington, D.C. held a march where the kindergartens carried protest signs and chanted, "Black Lives Matter." Watch this, little children. Watch this. Isn't that amazing? I understand why the blacks are doing it, because they don't care. Because they think they're getting something. But the white people, Those little kindergarten children carrying signs at school that says Black Lives Matter. They so little, they need to be home with the parents anyway, but the parents don't feel like watching those, especially the mothers. They don't want to watch over no children. They need daycare. This is why the parents are fighting to open up the public schools too, well, for high schoolers and whatever else, because they don't want to have those kids at home. What type of mother would think of being home watching over the man's children? That's not ego gratification for them. Unless you got a camera in the home watching them watch over the children and the world is watching, then they're okay with it, as long as you feed in the ego. That's at a private school in Washington, D.C. According to the Daily Wire, parents pay $40,000 a year to send their kids to the Lowe's School. $40,000 to send their children to the Lowe's School. Can you imagine what they could do with that money if they stay home and raise and educated their own children? And then they'll run around complaining, oh, everything's so expensive. Keep your $40,000 in your pocket and raise your own children. How will we ever get America back if you're letting these radical brainwashers, the children, the ones that are going to eventually take over the country? They're teaching them everything but reading, writing, and arithmetic. And these teachers who are doing this, they're no good. You can't trust them. These little kids are chanting Black Lives Matter. They have no idea what they're saying. But it's being planted in their minds. In their mind. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.